Every champion was once broken. Every legend was once doubted. Every dream was once just a struggle. But struggles don't define us. How we rise beyond them does. Welcome to Beyond the Struggles, where every setback is just the beginning of greatness. Some people live a life, but some live a legacy. This is the story of a boy who spent 27 years behind bars and still walked free to lead a nation. This is the story of Nelson Mandela. In 1918, in a small village called Mvizo in South Africa's Transkei region, Rolihlahla Mandela was born. In Xhosa, his name meant pulling the branch of a tree. Some said it meant troublemaker. No one knew then that this boy would pull at the roots of injustice itself. Mandela's father, a local chief, lost his position after clashing with colonial authorities. Soon after he died, the family fell into hardship. But young Mandela learned resilience. At a small missionary school, he was introduced to books and ideas. It was here, at just 7 years old, that a teacher gave him an English name, Nelson. He studied hard, inspired by stories of warriors who resisted oppression. Outside the classroom, apartheid's grip was tightening. Black South Africans were pushed aside in their own land. Mandela could see it. He could feel it. And deep inside, a fire was beginning to burn. In Johannesburg, Mandela trained as a lawyer, one of the few black attorneys of his time. Day after day, he defended people crushed by apartheid laws. But Mandela wanted more than defense. He wanted change. In 1944, he joined the African National Congress. Energetic, fearless. He helped form the ANC Youth League, determined to fight apartheid. Protests grew. So did repression. Mandela was arrested for the first time in 1952. But prison did not silence him. It only amplified his voice. In 1960, the Sharpeville massacre changed everything. Peaceful protesters gunned down. More than 60 dead. The world was horrified. Mandela and the ANC realized words alone might never be enough. He went underground, traveling across Africa, seeking support and strategies. But in 1962, the government captured him. At his trial, Mandela looked his judges in the eye and declared, "I have cherished the ideal of a democratic and free society. It is an ideal for which I am prepared to die." Mandela was sentenced to life imprisonment. Robben Island became his world. A cell barely large enough to stretch his arms. Stone-breaking labor under the burning sun. Visits restricted. Letters censored. He missed the funerals of his mother and his eldest son. The pain was endless. Yet Mandela refused to be broken. He studied. He taught. He inspired fellow prisoners. Even in chains he led. Anger could have consumed him. Instead, he turned it into discipline. While the world outside erupted in protests, Mandela became a symbol of defiance. Free Nelson Mandela became a global cry. For 27 years he endured. And in 1990, the gates finally opened. Mandela walked free. Freedom was not the end of struggle. South Africa was on the brink of civil war. Violence, hatred, decades of division. But Mandela chose reconciliation over revenge. He met with his enemies. He forgave those who had imprisoned him. In 1994, South Africa held its first democratic election. For the first time, every voice mattered. And the people chose Nelson Mandela as their first black president. He stood before the world and declared, "Never, never, and never again shall it be that this beautiful land will again experience the oppression of one by another." The boy from the village, the prisoner of Robben Island, was now the president of a free nation. Mandela served only one term. He had never fought for power, only for freedom. After stepping down, he became a global elder, fighting for peace, education, and the dignity of all people. He admitted his flaws, his struggles, and his humanity. That honesty made him even greater. On December 5, 2013, Nelson Mandela passed away at the age of 95. The world mourned. Nations lowered their flags. Millions wept. But Mandela's story did not end with his death. It lives on, in every act of courage, in every choice of forgiveness, in every struggle turned into strength. Nelson Mandela taught us that no prison is stronger than the human spirit. Those 27 years behind bars cannot break a dream. And that true greatness is not measured by power, but by the lives you inspire. Final Punch Channel Tie-in. This is the legacy of Nelson Mandela. And this is what it means to go beyond the struggles.